Have you ever felt like you gave your all to someone only to have them take you for granted? It is a pain that cuts deep, but here is the truth. You have the power to turn this around, not by changing them, but by transforming yourself. I know you are struggling right now. You poured your heart into this relationship, believing that your love and devotion would be enough. But instead of appreciation, you got indifference. Instead of connection, you got the cold shoulder. You feel lost, confused, and powerless. But here's what you need to understand. The key to turning this around is not in her hands, it is in yours. You have the power to shift this dynamic, not by begging for her attention, but by building a life that commands respect. By the end of this video, you will not only understand how to make her regret losing you, but also how to build a life that makes you proud. A life so compelling, fulfilling, and authentic that she will not be able to ignore it. Or you. So let us dive in. The first step is to stop chasing and start leading. Chasing someone who is pulled away only lowers your value in their eyes. It communicates that you do not believe you are worthy of love and respect on your own terms. Instead, take the lead by focusing on yourself. This is not just about appearing strong. It is about reclaiming your power. It is about showing yourself and the world that your worth is not dependent on one person's validation. I remember a friend of mine, Jason, who found himself in a similar situation. His girlfriend of 2 years had grown distant, canceling plans and ignoring his calls. Desperate to save the relationship, Jason doubled down on his efforts, sending long texts and showing up at her work with flowers. But the more he chased, the further she pulled away. It was not until he stopped, took a step back, and started focusing on his own life that things began to shift. He started hitting the gym, pursuing his passion for photography, and reconnecting with old friends. Slowly but surely, he started to feel like himself again. And that is when something interesting happened. His ex started reaching out. She saw the changes in him, the newfound confidence and purpose, and it was magnetic. I am not saying this to give you false hope of getting her back. That is not the point. The point is that when you stop chasing and start leading, you reclaim your power. You show yourself and the world that you are in control of your own happiness. And that is the foundation for everything that follows. Tough love moment. You cannot beg someone to see your worth. If they cannot recognize it, it is their loss, not yours. Your worth is intrinsic, and it is time you start acting like it. This one shift in mindset from chasing to leading paves the way for a transformation so profound it will change the way you see yourself and the world. And that brings us to the next step. True attraction is not about words. It is about actions. It is about the way you carry yourself, the passions you pursue, the impact you have on the world around you. When you build a fulfilling and purposeful life, you become magnetic. Start small. Commit to consistent workouts, not to impress her, but to feel strong and capable in your own skin. Pursue that passion project you have been putting off. Whether it is writing a book, starting a podcast, or learning a new skill, pour yourself into your work, not just for the paycheck, but to add value and make a difference. Volunteer, serve your community, be a part of something bigger than yourself. As you do this, an amazing thing happens. Your life starts to speak for itself. You no longer need to convince anyone of your worth because it is evident in the way you show up in the world. Tough love truth. If your life is not inspiring to you, why would it be inspiring to anyone else? You are the author of your own story. Make it one worth reading. As you build this life brick by brick, you become irreplaceable, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. And that sets the stage for the next crucial step. Clinging to the past only prolongs your pain. Letting go is not about forgetting. It is about freeing yourself to grow. It is about making peace with what was, so you can make room for what could be. I had a client once, Michael, who came to me devastated after his fiancée called off their engagement. For months, he held on to the hope that she would change her mind, that they could go back to the way things were. But the truth was, their relationship had been unraveling long before the breakup. They had grown apart, wanting different things, but Michael was too afraid to let go. It was not until he finally allowed himself to grieve, to feel the full depth of his pain and begin to release it, that he started to heal. He realized that he had been holding on to someone who no longer wanted to be held, and in doing so, he was preventing himself from finding someone who did. Tough love revelation. You cannot embrace the future if your hands are full of the past. Drop the baggage and move forward. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Letting go creates the space you need to rewrite your story. It allows you to redirect the energy you have been spending on her into building a life that excites and fulfills you. And that is the key to becoming truly irreplaceable. Irreplaceability is not about what you have, it is about who you are. It is the sum total of your character, your emotional intelligence, the depth of your insight, and the impact of your presence. When you live with purpose, aligned with your deepest values, and committed to continuous growth, you become irreplaceable, not just to a romantic partner, but to the world. Start by defining your values. What principles do you want to stand for? What qualities do you want to embody? Integrity, compassion, courage, creativity. Choose the ones that resonate with you and let them guide your actions. Next, commit to growing in emotional intelligence. Learn to manage your own emotions, to communicate effectively, to be present and attuned to others. These skills will serve you in every area of your life, from your career to your friendships to your romantic relationships. Finally, find your purpose. What lights you up? What makes you feel alive? What impact do you want to have on the world? When you orient your life around your purpose, you become unstoppable. Tough love wisdom. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your only competition is the man you were yesterday. Strive to be better, to learn more, to love deeper. That is the path to a life of meaning and impact. As you embody these qualities, living with integrity, growing in emotional intelligence, pursuing your purpose, you will find that your relationships transform. You will attract people who value what you value, who inspire you to be your best self, and that is the foundation for a love that lasts. Your past does not define you. What matters is how you choose to move forward. Every ending is a new beginning if you have the courage to write a new story. I once worked with a man named Robert who had been through a devastating divorce. His wife of 15 years had left him for his best friend, and he was understandably shattered. For a year, he struggled to find his footing. He drank too much, slept too little, and let his work and health deteriorate. But something in him knew he could not continue on this path. He knew he had a choice to make, so he made it. He chose to rewrite his story. He got sober, started therapy, and began the hard work of rebuilding his life. He reconnected with his children, pursued a dream of starting his own business, and started taking dance lessons. Something he had always wanted to do. It was not easy. There were days he wanted to give up, to revert back to his old ways, but he kept choosing day after day to write a new story, and slowly his life began to transform. The last time I spoke with Robert, he had just returned from a trip to Argentina where he had danced the tango in the streets of Buenos Aires. His business was thriving, his relationships with his children were stronger than ever, and he had just met a woman who shared his passion for dance and for life. He was living proof that it is never too late to rewrite your story, that no matter how much pain you have endured, no matter how lost you feel, you have the power to create a life you love. Tough love inspiration. No one is coming to save you. The pen is in your hand. Start writing the story you want to live. Embrace growth, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. The best is yet to come. When you put all these steps together, stopping the chase, building a life that speaks for itself, letting go of the past, becoming irreplaceable, and rewriting your story, something incredible happens. You become the man you were always meant to be, the man who is confident in his worth, clear in his purpose, and unshakable in his commitment to growth. The man who inspires others not by his words, but by his actions. This is the moment everything changes. The moment you realize that your happiness, your fulfillment, your sense of peace, it all comes from within you. It is not dependent on her or on anyone else. When you reach this place, a funny thing happens. The people who took you for granted, who did not see your worth, they start to see it. They start to realize what they lost. But here is the beautiful truth. By the time they do, it will not matter. Because you will have built a life so rich, so full, so overflowing with love and purpose, that you will no longer need their validation. You will have become the validator of your own worth. So when she comes back, knocking on your door, you will be able to greet her with compassion, but not with need. You will be able to wish her well, but not at the expense of your own welfare. Because you will have learned the most important lesson of all. When you stop chasing what is not meant for you, you make room for what is truly meant to find you. So let us recap the journey. To become the man who commands respect and inspires attraction. 1. Stop chasing and start leading. Reclaim your power by focusing on yourself. 0.2. Build a life that speaks for itself. Pursue passions, add value, make a difference. 0.3. Let go of what holds you back. Release the past to make room for the future. 4. Become irreplaceable by living with purpose. Align your actions with your values and never stop growing. 5. Rewrite your story and embrace growth. Choose, day after day, to create a life you love. Remember, the only person you need to impress is the man you see in the mirror. Build a life so fulfilling that anyone who left will realize they lost something truly extraordinary. But more importantly, build a life that makes you proud. A life that sets your soul on fire and inspires you to keep becoming the best version of yourself. That is the ultimate victory. Not getting her back, but getting yourself back. Not finding someone to love you, but learning to love yourself, fully and unapologetically. So here is my challenge to you. Comment below with one step you are starting today, one action you are taking to begin this journey of transformation. And make sure to subscribe to this channel for more insights and inspiration to help you become the man you were always meant to be. Your new beginning starts today. The pen is in your hand. Start writing a story you cannot wait to live. I believe in you. Now it is time for you to believe in yourself. Let us do this.